talking basketball. That's right. NBA talk. It's been way too long. There is a ton to go over, but we're going to keep this short enough for you so you can listen. But before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Appreciate all the followers with the NFL. I know some of you just like to hear NBA, so you're going to hear this too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you do follow on social media, I am 21-14 I have right now on bets. And I don't mean because Ryan has helped with that too. So we are 21-14 on our bets. And so, yeah, that's been fun to give out like 3-4 days a week when we're not doing football. So that's where we're at. Ryan, we are a quarter of the way through this season. Can you believe that already?
That's crazy. I mean, keeping up with football and then this is the same time and already a quarter way in. It just, man, it's just bang, 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 boom, 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 game, 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 just ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah,
But but don't worry that when we get to the postseason, it's like another 3 months. So we got
that
plenty of time.
is
It goes till like June. So
that
we're
is
good.
true. It's like
Yeah.
somewhat the preseason when it's normal season, and then the season really starts right, around Christmas, maybe a little bit
I know.
after. Then it's go time. Yeah.
It's a long one. Yeah, we're gonna be focusing on just NBA once NFL's over. We'll get to NFL offseason stuff, but yeah, we're gonna go over a few takeaways in this video, and then we're gonna talk about the MVP race and what's going on with that. And then we're gonna do another video very shortly after this about the power rankings, top 10. We made a joint top 10 power rankings, so that's gonna be fun to talk about each team and kind of where they are at right now. So I'm ready to roll. My first takeaway. Let's dive right in. I I don't think a lot of people are watching Indiana Pacer games, but you need to because Tyrese Haliburton is freaking special. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. He just had a 3-game stretch where he had 40 assists and 0 turnovers. Think about that for a second. I mean, that's unbelievable. He's having one of the best passing seasons in NBA history. I think it was compared to like John Stockton a certain amount of years back. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a decent player
He's
in
pretty
his own
much a
right. Yeah.
legend, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's from this area too, kind of. Anyways, yeah, 40 assists, 0 turnovers. He's had 14 or more assists in like 5 of the last 6 or 7 games. I mean, the guy just knows how to play. He sets the shooters up well. He knows his team. The Pacers are putting together a good year right now, much better than we all thought. I do think they've played a little weaker competition, but I just had to mention him because he is not being talked about, and he is having one heck of a year, averaging almost about 20 points a game with a little over 11 dimes a game. So, yeah, Ryan, what do you think about that? Huh?
Yeah, I wish the media would talk about the Pacers in this because they just don't. The Pacers used to be such a great program, and NBA and everybody talked about the Pacers. They've definitely had a couple down few years ever since Paul George and Roy Hibbert and all that got traded and busted up and didn't do anything. So glad that this team is kind of finally coming around, and then the media can kind of catch on and get on board. Stats in the NBA are, they're easier to get, but that's impressive. 40 assists and no turnovers, like if you're trying to pass the ball that much, you're bound to get it picked at least once. No? Like, man, that
Oh,
is that is
easy.
good.
Yeah,
Freaking solid.
yeah, easy. It's definitely a better assist to turnover ratio than what you do in the rec in NBA 2K. But
And that's because I'm trying to
anyways,
force the pass. I'm trying to get it to you
yeah,
guys, and you just can't do what I need you to do. Come on.
sure, sure. That's it. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Yeah, that was special. I just had to mention it. Next thing I want to talk about though. Health is just taking over this league. And there's a reason why betting against the spread is hard. You don't know who's going to play. Sometimes people are ruled out and for rest or anything like an hour before the game. It's been brutal. I mean, this year we had huge comebacks. We had Jamal Murray coming back, Kawhi Leonard coming back, sort of, kind of. We don't know
Eh.
what he's doing. Zion has come back and has been healthy for most of the year already. Klay Thompson was last year. He came back and he helped them win a title. So the health impacts so much. When you look at these teams, you think, well, I don't know what team they're going to be in the playoffs because I don't know who's going to be healthy. So, like, let's just like if we had everyone healthy, how fun would this be? Like James Harden, is he going to stay healthy? We don't know. Damian Lillard, I mean, we have no idea at this point of his career.
Yep.
Chris Middleton's about to come back finally for the first time this year. Robert Williams will impact that defense tremendously for the Celtics when he comes back. Chris Paul, the 50-year-old point guard, he's been hurt. I don't know if he can stay healthy. And there's just teams resting players a lot. And so just curious to see what you think, Ryan. If is the health Are they just staying out longer, you think, because they just wanna make sure they're 100%? But how do you feel about the resting players and all this too?
I don't like the resting the players. I think that is a disservice to the fans of the NBA. You buy a ticket, your goal is to go see those guys, the superstars of the
Agree.
league, play at all-time high levels. And they did that back in the day. John Stockton, Michael Jordan, they'd play all 82 games. They played all. It didn't matter. And now
Mhm.
team guys are playing 75. So if you're pinching all your pennies to go see this one game and it's a rest day, come on. Like, that's terrible for the fans. I totally get it as far as an organization, team-wise, trying to win championships because it is a long season. So I think this is where you get into the argument of maybe shortening the season because 82, that's a grind. You really want to just be healthy. You're right. It's about the money. Absolutely. You got to be healthy towards the end of the season. You got to be healthy then. You got to work together then, get chemistry, and then make a run in the playoffs and be healthy in the playoffs. You could do all this hard work for a month and a half, 2 months, and then just get worn out, tired, beat up, and not make it, do anything in the playoffs. And then what does it matter? Like, okay, cool. You're one of the
Yeah.
best teams in the regular season, and then you sucked. I really hope the guys come back because it's fun to watch. Robert Williams, Damian Lillard, he's one of my favorite players, and it's just tough to see him kind of trying to carry the Blazers for so long. Now they kind of got some pieces around him, and he's kind of wearing out. I hope that's not the case, and I don't want to have him rest because I want to see him, but maybe it's what he needs. I don't know. It's tough. It's a hard balance.
Yeah, the Damian Lillard thing reminds me of Felix Hernandez, I know. Baseball real quick.
Mm,
Stud
yep.
pitcher for the Mariners, dominant. We couldn't score a run to save our life for like a decade. We finally start getting a little better, and he's toast. So yeah, but I mean, the resting players thing, I do get it from both sides. You're not going to shorten the season because of the money. They're not going to. It's a
Yeah.
good idea and all that, but they're not going to. The season already goes to like from like October to June or even earlier than that. It's almost the entire freaking year. It's like August training camps, isn't it? August to June if you make the finals. That's just insane. So if that's not going to happen, like you said, people pay a lot of money for these tickets. These tickets are
Mhm.
not cheap. And the Warriors have had games where they've started their entire starting five or four of the five. It's just
They
been,
sat him.
it's just unreal. Unreal. Yeah. And I get it from an organizational standpoint, but here's what has to happen, NBA. The playoffs have to be different. The playoffs are set up where it's like, I don't care if I'm the sixth seed, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. They have to play for something or they're going to keep resting. And you're not going to stop all the resting and all that. And some people are just hurt. Like some people I named, they're actually hurt. Lillard's not resting this long
Right.
or
Yeah.
anything. He's hurt. But you have to make it somehow where a couple teams have buys or something has to happen where
I think
maybe the
I think you
first
make a
round
great
is
point.
all at the home court, all on the home court or something like that, or buys like everybody has. But well, baseball doesn't, but there's not many teams that get in. But football, like the top seed, it used to be top two seeds, now it's the top seed get a buy. Like that has to happen because they will play for that. They're already into
Mhm.
the second round. They get 2 weeks off to rest in between. Like I don't know, a thought
I
like that. I know it's money, so
No, I didn't even think of it that way. Like I was thinking the opposite direction in the regular season getting shortened and things like that. But maybe you're onto something. Obviously, us two aren't going to change the NBA
oh, I'm
league and
calling
go
them. I'm calling them.
calling them up and getting to change the
Yeah,
playoff schedule. Like I love the bubble thing that they did. I thought that was a great thing. It got excitement towards the end of the season for certain teams. But definitely, yeah, it would make players want to play to get home court the whole way through or a bye. I basketball, I know home court matters, but sometimes if you're the better team, home court really doesn't matter a whole bunch. So if you go in as the
yeah,
sixth seed, it's like, okay, I'll get a win there. It's no big deal.
yeah, yeah. Like the Warriors, I don't remember. Were they 3, 4 seed last year when they won the title? I don't
I
remember
think,
now exactly, but
yeah, 3 seed. I think they're the 3 seed.
yeah. Because here's the deal with that. Like you play a 7 game series. If you win one road game,
Yep.
you have home court now. It's just one game. So yeah, they're gonna rest all season long. All they just have to say is we'll make up for it. We'll win a road game in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's not a big deal. So they have to do something. Even if it's something crazy where like, I don't know, the top seeds play all their games at home in the first round or second round, or I don't know if that's too much. And I know you want to make money for both teams. It's all about business and money. Or the worst seeded team has to beat that team 4 times, and the best seed has to beat them 3. I don't know, something weird
Something
like
different.
that.
Yeah.
But they need to do something, and I think buys would help. And I don't know the logistics of it because I just came up with it right now, just off the top of my head. But there's got to be something. Anyways, just wanted to point that out. Hopefully, teams can stay healthy because this NBA can be pretty special when everybody's healthy. These teams
Mhm.
at full force, it could be a lot of fun. But we all know that's not going to happen. So, next takeaway: Lakers. Gosh, I love talking about these Lakers. I mean, they're playing better.
Mhm.
They've dug out of the hole. They're not a playoff team yet because they had a huge hole to dig out of. Yeah, what do you think, Ryan?
No, I had a great time. I was able to laugh at my brother, give him a hard time. He was on here with his hair going crazy, predicting the Lakers, championship, bold statement, all this stuff. And then the season started and they were like 0-7. I'm like, dude, yeah, they're terrible. And now here they are. I'm like, what? No, I just can't believe it. And a lot of it, he's got to stay healthy. Anthony Davis has just been dominating and carrying these last few games. Just unreal. He's like 13 rebounds this season type thing per game.
About damn time.
You're
About
right.
damn time he rebounds the ball at 7 feet tall. Keep going.
You're right. Absolutely. Russ off the bench. It didn't start off well, but I think they're figuring it out. And now LeBron's back after injury. Like when LeBron was gone, they were winning without him. So I was like, oh, it's just a LeBron thing. I can rub that in his face. Yes. No, now they're winning with LeBron too. And I'm just like, darn it. I like picking on him because of that younger brother, type of thing. But yeah, they've
Yeah,
figured it out, turned it around, and now they're looking to make. I mean, they're the Lakers. They're obviously wanting to try and always get better, but trades, trying to get a trade going, trade talk always. Who knows?
they don't really have much to trade, to be honest. Good luck. They can trade draft picks or something, but they're playing better. They're not going to be anything special. I don't know. They're just not going to be anything special. I just have that's all I have to say about them. They're just not like they don't have a lot of deep pieces. You can't trust Russ every night. Anthony Davis, once LeBron comes back, Anthony Davis is probably going to go back to his watching LeBron, not rebounding a lot kind of thing. I don't know. The
We'll see.
combo just isn't great. They still don't have great shooters. It's just it is what it is. Lakers are playing better. Good for them. They're probably going to be buyers now because of the Lakers, and you can't sell if you're an LA team. You have to keep trying to win. You cannot tank. So
Right? Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, that's the Lakers. Here's another takeaway I have. So here's a stat of the last 20 seasons through 20 games. Okay, through 20 games in the last 20 seasons. You following me, Ryan?
I'm following. I got you.
Okay.
Focused.
If you have won 12 or more games of the first 20, you have a 91% chance of making the playoffs. Makes sense, probably.
Okay.
11, if you win 11 games out of 20, you have 61% chance. If you're 10-10, you have a 53% chance. Somehow 9-11 is actually a little better, 57%. But if you have 8 wins, you're 8-12, it drops all the way to 26%. You pretty much, if you don't have 9 wins through the first 20 games, you're toast. And there's exceptions to this. This is just low percentages. What I'm getting at is there's some teams like the Kings, for example. They have 10, maybe 11 wins through 20 games. According to this, they have like a 60% chance, 50 to 60% chance of making the playoffs. The Sacramento Kings. This team can freaking score, by the way.
Yeah, they can.
But do you know how many years it's been since the Kings made the playoffs? I'll sit
Oh,
back and wait for this answer.
gosh. Oh, was it Chris Webber, Page, Mike Bibby, those guys, or did
Sounds
Tyreek
about right
Evans?
based on the years. Yeah.
Because I don't think Tyreek Evans, like around his rookie year when he came
Oh,
in,
Tyreek, I
made it.
liked him.
Yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
did too. I would have to say around that time, I'll go 04.
So 18 years ago, 16 years, close.
Hmm.
That's pretty good. 04, the year we graduated high school.
Whoop, whoop.
Uh, so according to this model, and it's factual, the Kings are going to make the playoffs, and that's crazy to me that they could end one of the longest droughts in sports. No, the Mariners don't have it. They made the playoffs. Thank you. But here's the kicker: the Pelicans made the playoffs. Guess what they were through 20 games last year?
Same record?
4-16.
Oh, you're right. Way kicker. Wow, 4
Four
and
and
16.
16. Yeah.
The bubble helps with
So
that. The bubble helps with that though, right? Because
yes,
they were on the outside and had to win like 2 to get in and got in, right?
they were, I think, a 9 or 10, or 8,
Yeah.
9 or 10 seed or something right in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if this is easier for you, if you've won 9 or more games, you have a 75% chance of winning. If you've won 8 or fewer, you have a 13% chance of winning. So if you are a fan that has won there where your team has won 8 or fewer, just wait till next year. According to this model, you're done. You're just absolutely toast. So
So you're
that's
not
just a
saying there's a chance.
not at all. There is not a chance. So yeah, that I just want to point that out because the Kings are a team that are showing up a little bit right now, and can they hold it out? I don't know. But De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, those guys are playing well right now. So that's what I got. You got anything else, Ryan, before we dive into this beautiful MVP race that you got
No,
to talk
no,
about a
nope.
quarter of the way?
Don't gotta talk about. I want to talk about MVPs. That's what we're
Let's
here to
do it.
talk about this time. Yep.
Quarter of the way through the season. Let's do it. MVP race. We're gonna let you know who we think is gonna win and who kind of the top three, top four. Everyone probably knows it. Let's talk about one Jason Tatum first.
Whew.
This guy, I I made fun of him in the conference preview or not conference preview. Yeah, maybe it was the preview video. And I didn't like how he played last year, and he said he was going to make adjustments. He's only like 24 years old, and kudos to him. He looks unbelievable this year. He is hitting shots, but more importantly, he is going to the rim a lot more. He's attempting the most free throws he's ever attempted in his career, almost 9, I think, free throws a game. I mean, this guy is special right now on a very, very special team offensively right now. So Celtics are 18-4 as of this video, um, averaging 38 boards. So you think Luka gets boards? So does Tatum, 8 boards a game, and almost 5 assists. Thoughts on Mr. Tatum, Brian?
I'm excited. He was one of my guys on the starting 5 for 5 years thing that we did, and that's the one you dogged us on. Um,
Yep.
man, he's you're right. He's special, young, and I'm glad he changed his body around so that he can get to the hoop, take the punishment, and just he's had some dunks where he's just yammed on some fools. I mean, it's just like wham, take that.
Mhm.
Playing some good defense. There's a few saw a block against Luca that he did that was just like, you're not making that. No one's making that. Oh, he did. Like obviously LeBron's and when he was in his prime and Giannis, but like it's not something that you normally do to a Luca, and he was right there and did
No.
it. And the thing about driving is that Tatum, he can flat out stroke it from the 3-point line, like special stroke it, like just be like, okay, I'm pulling up and bang, like just
It's
nail it.
smooth. It's smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him last year in the playoffs just catch fire, and you're like, what are you supposed to do? Like he just caught it, like not even thinking
Mhm.
about it, just shoots it, and now he can go past you and finish. No, good move on his behalf, like solid. Yep, I
Yep,
have
I
to agree. He's
agree.
right up there.
You forget that like 23-year-olds, oh, you're still making adjustments into the NBA and you can get better. He was
Yep.
not good through contact last year. I just didn't like how he did it. When I watched him in the playoffs, I don't know. He tried to draw the foul and act more instead of how do I finish? How do I get
Hmm.
stronger and just finish through this? And I'm seeing that a lot more, and he's getting a lot of free throws through it. And yeah, he's special. Getting 8 boards a game is pretty good too. So he's might be the leader in the clubhouse at the moment. So number 2 though, this guy's pretty dang close. Giannis
You
Antetokounmpo.
nailed it. Got his name
Nailed
perfect.
it. Thank you. Listen, don't get sick of this guy. The voters, everybody, don't get
Hmm.
sick of him because
Hmm.
he's won it 2 times already. I don't care. He's freaking amazing and he's putting up he literally wakes up and I don't think he even brushes his teeth or takes a shower. He just hops on the court and he just puts up a quick 30 and 10. It's like he's like maybe just sleepwalking through the game. It's that easy for him. He's averaging 31, 11 rebounds a game, and 5.5 assists a game. And I just think people are just like, yeah, Giannis is doing Giannis. But that's not fair because he's also the anchor of the best defense in the league in the Milwaukee. So what do you think about Mr. Giannis?
I don't think he gets the MVP just because of what you said right there. The voters, the media, everybody are tired of him. It's Giannis doing Giannis like it's nothing special. No, wait, it is special. He is absolutely dominating. They're without their second best player. They're probably the top 2 team in the NBA right now, and it's all because of Giannis. Like who's around him? Brooke Lopez, True Holiday. I mean, those guys aren't anything special. Yes, they're in the league. They're good ball players, but they're not, a Chris Middleton that he's been missing for quite some time. I thought just a few days ago, he had like 9 dunks or something like that in one game. I remember back when I was young, if you saw 2 dunks in a game, it was like, yeah, that was cool. That was special. Go Sean Kemp and those guys. 9 dunks in a game by one guy. He just does what he wants. It's just so impressive. I wish, the voters didn't get sick and tired of people getting it over and over and over. That's stupid. That's not MVP. Let's push a narrative. Let's pump up this guy. So no, Giannis is
Agree.
a freak and still young. Like he is the league. Like,
27. Yeah,
yeah,
he's not 32. I thought he was like 30. He's 27. My
yep,
God.
yeah, he's got a long time.
But I don't know how much they take defense into effect. Tatum's made some big stops end of games for the Celtics, and Giannis is playing great D like he always does. He's close to Defensive Player of the Year every year. So I mean, these are two players that are two-way players, not just scoring and that's
Mhm.
it, like Lillard does. Um, but I do have to say, if you did think about dunks when we were younger in the 90s, 2000s, who do you think of? First name that comes to mind, dunks.
Sean Kemp,
Ooh, okay. I went
Rain
different
Man.
on that. I went
And
different.
my cousin introduced me to him. I watched, not introduced like physically to him, but like got me on board with basketball and watching. And Sean Kemp was the man. I remember him like staring down a Warriors guy on the ground, and then like watching a documentary of him, and his knees were all messed up as a kid, and had to have braces, and just so it's Sean Kemp, Rain
Huh.
Man.
I don't remember that documentary. Did they do a documentary about how he has like 9 kids with eight women? Because he does. I just letting you know. I don't mean to burst your bubble about Mr. Rain Man, but he does.
Ew.
And when I think of our Sonics back in the day, I do struggle to not get the Dikembe Mutombo wagging his finger
Oh,
and
don't even.
laying on the ground as an 8 seed beating us, right? Eight over 1 seed, I believe it was, in a best
Yeah,
of 5 when it was only a best of 5 back then.
yeah.
So,
The
anyways,
one
I
I
think it.
remember is when the Sonics were kind of getting a little bit older, and Tony Parker entered the
Mhm,
league, and Gary Payton was locking everybody up. And then this French guy comes in, and the glove couldn't stop him. I'm like, uh-oh,
mhm.
this this is bad. This is changing, and I'd remembered that like big time. I'm like, oh no, we have no chance to
I
stop in this Spurs
still
team.
no, they were so good. I still don't think Tony Parker's ever missed a floater. My God, I hated that. He
Yeah,
never missed a floater.
it was ridiculous. I
Goodness,
couldn't stand
that's
it.
yeah. That team's
Yeah,
one of the best teams ever. But real quick on the dunks, it's all about Vince Carter.
I knew you were going there.
Vinsanity.
Yeah.
Vinsanity. Yeah, he's the man. Anyways, we
Which
can talk
which
about
dunk do you think
basketball for
about
years.
then? When you think Vince Carter, which dunk do you think about?
Oh,
I got
the
two
whole
on top of
arm,
my head.
the
Yeah,
whole arm through. Yeah, that's my main one. But
yeah.
he kind of started revolutionizing the dunk contest and just how I
Mhm.
don't know. He was kind of one of those the OGs of all
Yep.
that. So he was special. And by the way, he was actually a damn good player. He wasn't just
Yeah.
dunks. Like,
Yep.
yeah, Tracy
For sure.
McGrady was fun to watch. Okay, okay. We can talk about basketball for 3 hours, but nobody wants to listen to that podcast. That's Tatum and Giannis. Number 3, Steph Curry. This guy is only 2 years younger than us. He's 34. And I don't know about you, but even just this morning, like my knees hurt getting out of bed. I don't know how the hell he's doing it, but he's averaging 31 points a game. He just won Finals MVP and the trophy last year at 33. He's averaging 7 dimes, and oh, by the way, in case that's not amazing, he's averaging just about 7 rebounds a game.
Wow.
Um, he's like my size. Let's be honest. He's,
Well,
I
you're
mean,
lucky to
same
be
body
that
fat.
size. I
Same
mean,
body fat.
I'm a little short
Yeah,
little guy.
that's true. I think he's like 6'2", 6'1". I
I
don't
think
know, something like
three.
that.
I think three. I think 6'3". But
Yeah.
the NBA
So
kind of finagles
yeah,
that a little bit
and
sometimes.
I think there's a little writer's, I guess, tiredness again with him, maybe, but probably not as much because he's actually like exciting and he is like the
Hmm.
face of the NBA. But he's averaging 31, just like Giannis. Tatum's averaging 30. Like that's the new like let's all average 30. That's crazy to me because that's just the new NBA. But shooting I think 44% from 3-point range, maybe or something like that right now. What do you think of Steph? I mean, he's right there. You can't discount him.
The Warriors started off kind of slow, and Curry tried to carry them the entire way, and he's still doing it. And at his age and just the excitement, I definitely can see him stealing some votes just because, just the way he plays, I guess, his
Mhm.
swagger, his confidence, just what he brings to the NBA, and the fact that the stats you ripped off 31, 7, 5. That's impressive. Like that's pretty good for
Yeah,
sure. Like that's not bad, and doing it the way he does, shooting threes.
yeah.
Um, he can carry a team by himself, and at a small size, that's just unreal. Can't believe it.
And we've been watching him year round because he just played until June, and then we saw him again in September, October.
Yeah.
So we really only had like 2 months where we stopped watching Steph play basketball. That's mind-boggling to me.
Yep.
What he's doing at 34, I mean, he's entering into conversations of the greatest of all time. Take it easy. I'm not saying he is the greatest of all time, but for how long he has done this and how much he's improved his game and what he does on the court and what he's transcended on the court, like there's millions of young kids growing up shooting threes like Steph Curry.
Mhm.
They're not as young anymore. Those guys are maybe almost to the NBA. But what I'm saying is like he's 34 and doing this. Those are what the greatest of all times do. They get older and they still dominate. And LeBron did it. And LeBron's older than this. He's almost 40 and he played since he was 19. So he's allowed to not be as good now. But what Steph is doing is unbelievable, and he is becoming into that. Okay, let's talk greatest of all time. He's in the top 5, top 10. Like
He's got
he's
to be
getting
somewhere.
there.
Yep, he's got to be somewhere
Yep.
around there for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you think
So
this was going to
that's
be him out of Davidson? I think I got
no,
the
not
colors
at all.
right.
I mean, he had a great shot when I watched him in Davidson. They made a good run in the tourney. And he had a great shot. He had a huge banked three. I remember that. And he was crafty and he was a heck of a ball handler. But you just saw his size because back then you're like, no, he's little. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But at that point, I didn't know like that size was okay for the NBA now. You know, it was just starting to get into that. But before that, like he comes out in the 90s and it's like, dude, you're gonna get bodied up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yep.
I'm not saying he couldn't ever handle that because he can handle the ball and he's crafty as all mothers. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he is unreal. So who I could talk
Yeah.
about Steph forever.
I just
Steph and Mahomes. Let's have a podcast on Steph and Mahomes.
those are your
Ooh,
boys.
baby.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
remember his ankles, like him being small and his ankles. I'm like, there's
Mhm,
no way. And his defense, there's just no way. He's not gonna do it.
mhm,
Unfortunately, he's gonna be one of those guys that's kind of fizzle out. And I thought he was, especially with the injuries. I was like, dang it, it's
mhm.
over. And then it just boom, skyrocketed, just shot up just like a
Yep,
freaking rocket and started just like, oh, I'm dominating this league. Here I go. Watch me do it.
yep,
Get on board.
yep. And he came
Yeah.
at the right time. The NBA rules changed and it
Hmm.
helped him a little bit, but he just said, if you're going to guard me out here in the 3 point line, I'm going to take another step back. And you got to guard me out here. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And then he started learning how to finish at the rim,
Yeah.
one-handed scoops, being crafty, you know, things like that. It's just unreal. So those are those three. We're supposed to just talk about this season. We're talking about like how great they are at forever. But the last one we're going to talk about, I think his name is Luca. He's average. 33 a game. I think he's leading the league points wise, but I mean it's right around this 30 31. 8.7 rebounds, 8.4 assists. Same old Luca every year. 8 and 8, right? He's always like 28 to 32 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists every year. He's freaking dominating the league again. But it's on another level this year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um as of right now, honestly, he's up there. Some people have him maybe third or fourth MVP race right now. Some people think he is the MVP. What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's a lock for Luca to get it, as long as he gets his team a little bit higher record wise. I'm not saying they have to be 1, 2, or 3, but if they can get somewhere in the 8 to 6 range, and he's still putting up these stats with this about the same team, if they get him some help and they get better because of that, and the stats go down, then maybe not. But with these stats, the team he's playing on, if he gets his team into the playoffs and they're looking good, it's a lock. I think like this is a complete new story, new guy, so it's not the media burnout, anything like that. The only other one that I would be thinking would be Jason Tatum. But I don't know if they give it to him because he's on such a special team that's built around him everywhere, where Luca is the whole team. Like you take Luca off the Mavericks, and they're like one of the worst teams in the league potentially. Like they would be absolutely garbage without Luca. And he just does it a different way. I mean, it's with his body, it's with the shot, it's with the dribbles. It can be anything, and Luka's got it. And I think he's kind of picked it up on the defensive end a little bit. Like he's got to carry his team offensively, so he can't waste as much energy on defense. But he's not a total liability, which is good.
Yeah, he's probably the worst defender out of these four. Steph's close, but Steph's playing a little bit better later in his career. But Steph and Luca are definitely not anywhere near Tatum and
No,
Giannis MVP.
no,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
So if you take all these stats and they're all similar, you know, 33 points a game compared to 31 and a half, does that, I mean, it's
You're
not that
right.
big of a deal. And
No,
then
it's
you got
not
a guy who's
huge.
playing better defense, but Luca's the 23-year-old, 24-year-old flashy guy who's never won an
Mm-hmm.
MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna help him. It's like you knew I was gonna ask you this, but you actually did not. So let's just say, here's my question. Let's just say it's up to these four. John Morant's having a hell of a year. Other
Yep.
players are. to me, it's these four. Let's just say they all put up just monster numbers like they've been doing in their own way, right? Giannis is averaging 11, 12 boards a game.
Mhm,
Tatum's averaging, 8 boards, but they're Celtics, let's say, are the 1 seed. Let's say the Bucks are the 2 seed, right?
mhm,
And then you get the Mavericks, who are like a 6 seed, 6, 7
mhm.
seed, right? Let's just say that. Maybe even 7, 8, who knows? And Steph Curry finds his way to the 4 or 5 seed. Let's just for example, okay? So you got a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 6 seed.
Yep.
Luca's numbers are a little better, and you love Luca. He's doing it on rebounding, assists, points. He is literally the Josh Allen of the Mavericks. He does to do
Mhm.
everything for this team.
Yep.
Who do you give it to? Most
It's
valuable player can't be on a team that makes the bubble.
I agree, 100% agree. I
Or
think
the
I would
play-in
probably
tournament, sorry.
go like Giannis, probably, but he's already got it. It's same old Giannis. He's 6'11", 7 feet tall. It's
No,
what he's
no, no, no,
supposed to
no, no,
do.
no, no. I'm talking about you. Who would you,
Oh,
not the writers, who would you, because let's just say
me?
Luca has a little, let's say Luca finishes with a little better season, right? Rebounds,
Mhm,
assists, he averages 34, 35, leads the league in scoring, is the only reason their team's even in the playoffs, right? Or in the play-in tourney even. Let's say they're a 7 seed and they make the play-in tourney, right?
mhm.
Do you give it to Luca when you know that Tatum is right there
No.
with the team at the 1 seed or the Bucks at the 2 seed? Like, does that matter to you? How do you rank a better season compared to the team being better? Does that make
I
sense?
Yes, it makes sense. I would go Giannis just because I feel like the team would get a whole heck of a lot worse without him and maybe not even make the playoffs. I mean, obviously, it's kind of the same thing with the Luca thing, but Giannis plays defense. He does it on both ends of the floor where Luca kind of doesn't,
Yep.
and just has more impact on the entire game than just half the game as far as offense. Like obviously, Luca plays defense. You can't just sit down there and wait.
Mhm.
Um, but no, it'd be Giannis for me. Giannis or Tatum would be the case. And I would lean Giannis in this case because Tatum's got a team around him, and it just makes it easier to kind of do these things. Yes, it's harder to get the stats because you got other people you're playing against, but you're not going against all three. You get a little bit more freedom offensively and can kind of take some breaks here and there where it's all Giannis.
Yeah.
He's carrying the whole gosh darn ship on his team. Like, let's go.
Oh
We're
yeah.
doing
There's
this.
there's no there's no doubt about it that I've seen teams try to game plan for Luca, and it's all about Luca. Like they just have to slow
Hmm.
down Luca, and he still does this. But Tatum, I mean, you got Jalen Brown. Like you got players that can.
Yeah.
Like you gotta watch out for both of them. But to me this year, it's gonna be Tatum or Giannis, and I don't think I think they're gonna pull away. I just don't see. I can't believe I'm saying this because Luca's playing so incredibly well. And I will say this: the Nuggets. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the Nuggets. Jokic won it last year, and I think they were a 6 seed.
I
I
think you're
don't
right.
remember exactly, but they weren't very good because they didn't have Porter went out with an injury. They still didn't
Yep.
have Jamal Murray. Like he
Yep.
carried their team. So Luca to me has to have the ultimate special year in order for him to beat a guy like Tatum or Giannis, who are going to be playing for a top two, top three team in the league. So I don't know. I guess I'm curious to see how writers do it because it's not really fair to Luca. Also, just Tatum's just on a better team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
So
then what would you do
it's
then?
not.
Who would you give it to if you same situation you gave to me? Who would you give it to?
I'm on the fence.
Wait, I can't be on the fence. You get on me, but you
No,
can go on the fence. I mean,
listen.
all right, no big deal.
Like I said, if they have similar years and you can't really differentiate, it goes to the team that's better. It just has to. Like you know what I mean? Like
It should.
I know they have more players on the Celtics, but without Tatum, the Celtics are not this good. The Celtics are
No.
18-4, and we'll talk about it in the power rankings video. Historically good on offense. Historically offensive rating right now. It's unbelievable. It's off the charts. If Tatum's not on this team, they're a good team, but they are not an excellent team like they are right now. So that and without Giannis, we know the Bucks are going to be like they're just like come on, you
I
know what I
think they
mean?
won like 3 games in a row. I think without Giannis, or like a game or two or something. Did all right with him there for a little bit this season. But
That
yeah. Oh, I hear
it
you.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so anyways, Steph, I don't know. He's going to rest. I don't know how much he cares about an MVP award in the regular season right now. He's 34. He might get hurt. He might just rest a lot. I don't see him. He's not going to be as hungry for it as Luca,
No.
Tatum, or probably even Giannis. I don't know. I still feel like Giannis is hungry for it at 27. But anyways, that's the deal. MVP race. My prediction is let's go to you first. And what do
Thanks.
you think?
Betting leaning wise, it's Luca still. I mean, I did that with the NBA prediction. He's balling out. He's having a amazing year. I still got to go Luca. I'm going Luca. I'm not picking Luca, but I think the NBA and the media and all the voters pick Luca just because it's new. Maybe Bird.
I think Yep, I think Tatum's winning it, and I think the voters want to do it because he's Jason Tatum. He's a young kid who's playing on a big market team in the Celtics,
That
and they're
helps.
going to be the number 1 or number 2 seed. And I think he's going to win it. It's going to be tight though. It's going to be a fun race to watch. Keep your eye on it because these 4 aren't going. If they stay healthy, these 4 ain't going nowhere, and that's a
Yeah.
guarantee. These 4 are not going anywhere. So, what's the most impressive? It's Steph Curry at his age. But
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, this is fun. That MVP race is going to be cool. It's only a quarter way through the season, so we'll see where we're at later on. But yeah, we'll get back to this halfway through the year, 3 quarters. We're going to keep talking about this MVP race. So that's where we're at. Now, we're going to end it, but we're going to do a power rankings video. That's right. It's coming soon. And we're going to go over the top 10. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack quarter way through the season with some of these teams. There's some young teams that are starting to make that steep climb up to the elite group. At least I think there is. And there's just a muddle of teams also that
Yeah.
are right around 500, and it's just hard to differentiate sometimes with health and everything else. But who's going to step up? So I think you're going to see in the next few weeks some teams start to separate, and some teams that might have just been pretenders. So we're going to talk about that in our next video. But yeah, that was fun, Ryan. You got anything else to end this NBA video?
It was good talking about some old school Sean Kemp, Vince Carter, Gary Payton. That's awesome. I just love it.
That's right.
It's sweet.
That's right. 90s, 2000s. Leave a comment. Who do you think of when you think of dunks? Who's the first person? Boom, comes right to the top of your mind. I'm curious to know. So I know Muggsy Bogues was a big one back in the 80s, 90s.
Oh,
He's
Spud
huge.
Webb. Spud Webb
Spud
dunk
Webb.
contest.
I know.
Oh, just barely getting
Yeah.
up there. Not barely, but yeah, it was awesome.
Nate Robb.
Oh man,
Holy
dude,
smokes! From our neck of the woods, from UW.
springs. He had
Holy,
springs.
yeah, that he did at Springs. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of myself in high school. So we're gonna end it. But if you want some bets, we're giving them out 3-4 days a week. So stay tuned on that for TikTok and Instagram and all that. So appreciate you following along. We'll talk to you later.